I'm not sure what's going on. No one's watching YouTube because I gave them the wrong link. So it doesn't matter. We have us on YouTube. They can watch it later if they want. My name is Colby Sharp.
My name is Elena
This is
Sharp.
my wife, Elena, and we are homebound, and we have been for almost 2 weeks. Let's start by going back 2 weeks ago today. I was home with the kids. The Home and Garden Show in Lansing, which I was supposed to volunteer for, was canceled, which makes us sad. And you were at McCall at the conference.
I was.
And that's when the governor of Michigan decided to close all schools after one more day for 2 weeks, which she has since added a third week. And we in Michigan are not really, we're kind of in a standstill here. Can you kind of talk about what's going on in our state with teaching and education?
I would say we're all kind of in a we don't know what's going on kind of cycle where we just wait to hear what the next news is and go from there. Right now, we have not had news in a while, other than the day we thought we were going to go back has been pushed back from April 6th to April 13th. So, in our district, we have been instructed not to teach any new content or deliver any new mandatory assignments. So we're just kind of sitting and waiting to hear what to do next. It is more unsettling than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's been really hard, and in some ways it's been really hard, but at the same time, I don't know. It's just kind of tricky. We miss everyone. We miss the kids. We miss our friends at school, all that sort of stuff. So
And Colby is distracted right now, so
trying to get this figured out.
Yeah.
So
I wonder. I don't know what you
good now.
guys think. Is this going to be one of those things where like you will always remember what, like where you were when you heard that school, like we're not going back to school for 3 weeks. For what it's worth, I was at McCall, which is a huge conference in Michigan centered on technology integration in the classroom. Always a very well done event, and it was sort of like the conference, the train was out of the station. Colby had a really tough time earlier in the week. He had to decide whether or not MRA, the big conference in Detroit, which he had at least partial responsibility for, was going to happen, and they made the call early in the week before the governor actually declared that nobody could have conferences. And then the McCall people, unfortunately, they had already started their conference they handled it really, really well, in my opinion.
can we just say it was kind of an impossible situation?
It was just crazy.
And I don't wish.
But I just think it's one of those things like you'll always remember where you're at when it happened. So. Okay, so I'm going to look at our notebook because my husband is distracted. So the next thing we're going to talk about is what's new with us, because we assume that you care. So,
I'm ready. Sorry.
All right, so we're going to talk about Colby first. Colby, what's new in your life, and what do you think people care enough to listen about you saying
Sure.
on both
I think
YouTube
I
Live
took notes.
and Facebook Live?
All right, so let's start with this is going to be the busiest month of my life, I think, with our girls having gymnastics. I was the co-conference chair of the Michigan Reading Association. I had some speaking gigs, and I had a lot of stuff going on for school report cards, all this stuff, and then it's just all gone. And I went from being the busiest I've ever been to not busy at all. I have a running coach now. My wife,
That's me.
who's so fast, and she's coaching me to my goal was going to be to try to run a 5K faster than I've ever ran. I think 22:28 is my fastest that I ran in my very first 5K 15 or so years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then this happened, so I'm like, well, I have a lot of extra time, so now I am trying to run a half marathon between 7:30 and 7:40 pace. I think that means I break like an hour and 40 minutes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hour and something minutes. So that's new with me. What's new with you? You just did something so amazing, and something you worked really, really hard to do. What did you just do?
Well, I took on a really tough coaching client who doesn't listen to a lot of the advice that I give him about training for things.
It's not true. I'm a great listener.
No, I also got a coach, which has been awesome.
Zach
is a teacher at Detroit Divine Child and agreed to take me on. I also had a pretty big, scary goal for running a 5K. I was a big time runner in high school.
Just say All-State.
No, I was very serious and competitive. We had a really, really good team.
Yep.
And
Top 10 in the state all 4 years.
So in high school, my fastest time that I ever ran was a 1906. And even in high school, I never thought about breaking 19. I never even thought it was something I could do. So it was kind of random out of the blue before all this happened, maybe in February, December. Anyways, I felt myself feeling really strong and good. And even though I'm 37 and I have 5 kids, I was thinking if this is the time to run a fast 5K, this is probably the time to do it. And reached out to Zach, and Zach agreed to take me on. Every day he gave me something to do, which was amazing because I didn't have to think about what am I going to do today, and should I run this far, or should I run this fast, or should I also throw a bike in there, or should I take today off? It was just all right there. And fortunately, the 5K that I had chosen was the next day after Governor Whitmer announced the closure. And those race directors also did a phenomenal job, like last minute kind of deal.
Spreading people out.
So we had it was a pretty
stations.
small race to start with, and they had us all spread out at the starting line, and protected all the volunteers with personal protective equipment. Did a phenomenal job pulling off a really nice race for a great cause. As for the Family Services and Children's Aid group in Jackson, and I did it.
Not only did she do it, her goal was 1906. What did you run it in?
No, my goal is under 19.
Under 19.
And I ran in 1814.
That includes going the wrong way.
I did go.
Cost you about
this
10
is
seconds.
like the going the wrong way thing has been has haunted me my whole life.
Cost her a state title in gymnastics.
And I was a level 6 gymnast, and I went the wrong way my floor routine, which is like 3/10 off your floor routine score. And so I didn't win the state meet.
It's okay.
There's been many other times. I don't want to talk about it. I feel like I have a good sense of direction.
You accomplished your goal.
But,
you crushed it. And now we're on to Ironman training, and our fingers are crossed that her Lake Placid Ironman will be on at the end of July.
Yeah, it's tough to be motivated. There is no swimming options really for me. So that's and not knowing if Lake Placid will even happen.
And if it does, that means that we're in a much better place.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
Fingers are crossed, not just for the Ironman.
And I'm kind of the same way. Just with teaching and gymnastics meets and the little boys and their stuff, and you holding down the fort while Colby had a lot of speaking stuff. So I was preparing to, single mom it and then all of a sudden it's just gone.
Yeah, so we went from being super busy to nothing. And we have been following the rules.
We have been so good.
We don't go anywhere. We did step out yesterday for the first time, really, to interact with humans other than the ones that live here. We gave blood.
Oh, that's right, because we gave blood.
So Elena brought to my attention that they had a huge shortage, not because of the coronavirus, but because...
because the places that have the blood drives are shut down, so they don't have anywhere to have the blood drives. So actually, my friend Jane had posted that she gave blood, and I was like, oh, hey, we could do that. My grandfather, who is just one of the coolest people I've ever met, really prided himself on giving blood every 56 days. He would go in and all these gallons that he gave. So it always makes me think of him. And we were able to go and sit 6 feet apart from each other as we waited to get our iron tested and all that stuff. We were the last appointment of the day, so they were kind of clearing out. But they said they had a really good turnout.
Yay.
My phlebotomist was amazing.
And I barely passed my iron test.
Yeah, Colby needs to eat some more iron.
We haven't been eating meat, so Lena tells me I need to take an iron pill. So that's kind of the new stuff that's going on in our lives.
But that's been it. But I have to say, like, so we're super, super fortunate.
We have jobs.
We have jobs
Still
that
getting
are still
paid.
paying
Yep.
us.
We have food,
Um,
toilet paper.
and we live in a home that is got lots of places for our kids to spread out from one another. We are not all cramped in a small space, and we have an outdoor space that the kids can go in as well. So for us to stay home is not a sacrifice.
No.
And I know
It's
I
hard.
don't take that for granted at all. We've got it really, really good. So
Yeah.
So we haven't felt like the need to.
No.
We haven't been as stir crazy as many people probably have been.
Yeah, it's we're very blessed, and we're really feeling for our students and their families and everyone around the country who is worried about making rent and putting food on the table.
I keep thinking about some of my
stuff.
students who live in like studio apartments or just small spaces, and it's difficult to go outside because then you're automatically with everybody from your apartment building or whatever, your complex. So we don't have those kind of issues. We are very lucky.
We just got a question that popped up on the screen. Do you want to
did?
answer that before we move on to the fun game? Someone asked how our reading lives have changed.
Ooh.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, so my reading life has become much more robust because I have more downtime, and I also have that downtime where I'm not so exhausted that I'm basically just passing out with a book on top of my face. So my reading life has been great. I nabbed a bunch of books from my classroom, and I've been peeling them off. I'm not too picky about what I grab. I just grab something and read it. And I am also much more present and able to read with my boys. So that has been really nice as well.
Some dinosaur books.
Yeah, they tend to not veer too far from their same olds, but it's just nice to...
What was the book you read, the Ruth Spiro book that you read today? It was so adorable because then they went and built rocket ships and satellites.
Yeah, I pulled out, so this is thanks to the REMC group and Kelly De Los Santos, if she's watching. So the REMC group in Michigan, which is it used to be like the
technology.
Well, it used to be the group that, like, if you're old enough like we are as teachers, like when you needed a video or magazines, you went and like checked them out from REMC, from your ISD. But now it's more like technology integration stuff. So like if you want to get some spheros for your classroom, they can loan them to you, and all like a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm way oversimplifying it, but they have a project specifically for taking books like Ruth's Aerospace Engineering, and then they have a project that goes along with it. So I just basically did that exactly as written. So I read the boys the book about aerospace engineering. It's really cute about like little bird, but the bird can't go in to say, "Hey, hi Ruth." It's awesome. And then I just I asked and put the rumc.org link there in my Instagram. But basically there's all these books, and it's for different age groups. So my boys are really little, so we kept it super simple. I just had them use some blocks to build something that flies. So Harvey made a satellite, which was crazy. I was like, what? And Hobbs made a rocket, of course.
Yeah, it was fun.
And anyway, so like that kind of stuff, we've just had the luxury of time to be able to do.
Yeah. I guess mine has changed. I'm trying to read some longer books. I think that a lot of times during the school year, I try to keep it like 200 pages or less. But I guess I read City Spies and Wink, which were two books that were almost 300 pages. Woo! So having some more time to do that has been nice. So thank you for the question. We are going to play a game that Elena...
I made up a game. I didn't make up a game. I copied a game. Like the Newlywed Game, but it's for...
us.
Quarantine.
The quarantine
Newlywed game. So it's not really fun at all. It just, if you put the word game behind something,
so if you have a friend,
more fun.
So if you have a friend that you've spent a lot of time with over these couple weeks, feel free to ask these questions. to them. So the first question. So,
So
we have.
we're gonna read the question, and then the other person is gonna guess what they think the other person's answer is. That's the game.
Okay, let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, so the first question is, for the first 2 weeks at home, what has been the hardest thing about being home for 2 weeks? So what do you think I would say?
Can I say like the hardest moment, or just like the hardest thing in general? Because I'm thinking a moment.
Moment's fine.
I think that you will say the hardest thing was when we told our daughters no gymnastics.
Ding, ding, ding. 1 point for Colby. Yeah.
It was awful. They have worked so hard, and those gymnastics friends are their absolute favorite. So when we told them that they would be going 2 weeks, then it's turned into 3, and who knows how long it'll be. But telling our girls that they have to take time off gymnastics was the worst.
There was a lot of tears.
Yeah. So
they've that was definitely the hardest.
One of their coaches has done. They're doing Zoom workouts every day. One of our 2 daughters. Both of them are doing like FaceTiming calls. Our one daughter FaceTimes with her friend until the phone dies, like 3-hour shots at a time. So they are getting a chance to connect with their gymnastics friends. I knew they loved gymnastics, but seeing how hard it has been for them to be away has been really eye-opening.
But see, I already knew that, so I knew it was going to be hard when I told them.
So do you...
Yeah, so I think that Colby's hardest moment was like the initial moment, because I think he worried about his kids at school the most, and what they were going to do and how they were going to feel for 2 or 3 weeks without Parma.
Yeah, I would say that.
Do I get a point?
You get a point.
Okay.
And I'm not even like, I'm not like worried about them not like we were in a persuasive writing unit. I'm not at all worried about them missing the wonderful teaching I was hoping to do during that unit, but just the stability. Some kids were in tears. Just the anxiousness of being home and being away from school. That was really, really hard, and has continued to be hard. So really thinking about them, and it's just weird. It's weird. I love break. I love summer. I love spring break. I love all of the time away from school. I love snow days, but this is different. This is weird.
Yeah.
Your phone
that was your hardest. Yeah. That was definitely.
So I'll go first. The next.
Okay.
Wait. Do I ask you first?
I don't.
What do you think has been the most fun thing for me on this break? The most fun.
And again, we're talking a moment, right?
Yes, it was not getting my toenails painted this evening by our daughter. But that happened. Yes, what do you think the most fun moment has been?
I think that the most fun for you was hiking at McCready with the kids.
That was like the second day. I forgot about that, so I didn't pick that, but that's a good one.
We took the kids out to a preserve in Jackson, where it's really easy to stay away from people, because it's not just like one path that loops around or is out and back. It's got lots of like spidery off trails, so the odds of you seeing someone out there are very, very low. And I've run out there a bunch of times, so I knew that, but that was really fun. That's not my favorite one.
My favorite thing actually was, and I tried to have a good attitude about it, but I wasn't really excited about it when we did it, but then it was super fun, was our dance party.
Oh, yeah.
When we had a dance party early in the thing where we all had to make up a dance, and it was us two and our oldest son, Breslin, and we had these dances. And that was
so our girls are event planners, sometimes more than we care for, but they'll come up with these crazy harebrained contests or ideas, and this was we had to pull names out of a hat. There were 3 teams, and then we had to choreograph a dance, and then by like 7 o'clock at night, we had to demonstrate all of our dances to each other.
It was amazing.
So
the funnest thing for you on this break was probably giving blood with me yesterday, because it made you think of your grandfather, and you got to be. It was like date night.
No.
What was your most fun?
No. My most fun, I think, was playing Sorry with the kids. Hobbs always wins Sorry.
We don't even let him win.
We don't let him win, and he doesn't cheat.
And he talks trash.
But he got up on the table after the last time. Well, it was just fun to start with, because it's fun and Sorry. Like, there's not much to it. But then he got up on the table afterwards and did this like wicked dance /
Oh
trash
yeah.
talk.
Oh yeah.
And I just couldn't stop laughing. It was so fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, next
Yeah.
question.
Okay, next question. What is the easiest thing about being on break? Or being away from school or being at home?
Okay. So in this tough time, there's been some easy things, and the easiest thing for you has been not being stressed about school in the evenings.
Close.
Okay.
I think the easiest thing for me has been just sleeping, because I worry a lot about like what happened that day and how I'm gonna like fix it or make it better tomorrow and what we're gonna do tomorrow, and I worry a lot about that, or what I need to say to so and so tomorrow, or just there's a lot of worrying that happens. So
Yeah.
I have trouble sleeping
You've been sleeping
a
good.
lot. So
Good.
the easiest thing has been sleep, and I get naps sometimes,
Yeah.
and I can sleep in sometimes a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So that's been the easiest thing. And the easiest thing for you has been working out.
No, not at
Oh,
all. Working out has been harder.
really?
Yep. The pace. I am enjoying the pace. The
Oh.
pace of, I get up and there's just time to do the things that we need to do in a day. I've really enjoyed that. Having the pace, especially like after lunch, it's just do. So that's kind of nice. We've been trying for some structure and stuff, and we've been kind of flexible with that. But yeah, the pace has been nice. What's the next question? Is there a hardest question? Did we do that? Oh, we did the hardest.
The most annoying or stressful thing?
Okay, I have mine. And I feel like this does not make me a great person.
Like you have what makes you most angry
Yes.
or stressed?
Yeah, I'm gonna go more stressed.
Money?
That was super stressful at first. Just losing all of like the speaking things and not having that income that we were kind of counting on for some summer vacations and things, but that then felt pretty selfish. But nope, not that. Feel pretty good about that money now.
Okay, so what is it?
The mornings. I like to have time to myself in the mornings, and I often get up at 4:15 and I have a cup of coffee and I run, and then I pack my lunches. I do all of this stuff. I have like 2 hours in the morning before I see another soul, and I love the wonderful souls that live here. But now it's like they wake us up and I am on for the day. So it's been weird not having that alone time. So yesterday, Hobbs woke up at 5 o'clock, or Harvey actually came in and snuck into our bed, and then we heard a loud thump because he fell out. Sigh. But then I brought him downstairs and was able to get him to go back asleep, and then I had like an hour just like chilling, and that was really nice. And I felt more ready for the day. It's just hard because like dad, and our girls are like they want to do everything in the world, and it's just like a lot to take without a cup of coffee. So the most stressful thing to you or annoying thing to you, the house is kind of messy.
Oh, that's absolutely it.
You would think that we would have like but we're here all the time, so there's so much more time to mess it
I
up.
am very proud of myself. Like I have made like really almost peace with this.
Almost peace.
Almost peace. And like I'm not obsessively cleaning.
Respect.
Our house is a disaster. And it's okay. It's okay.
It is okay. I like this game.
It's okay. We have one more question, and that is the most unexpected thing about being home. What has surprised you in your time?
Do you want to guess mine? This is something I feel like I knew, but I didn't know.
How much you don't miss watching sports?
That's the tournament. I really miss the tournament. I'm really sad for my brothers and some of the kids that I coach that are maybe not going to have a high school baseball season. And my brother, I have 5 brothers, and my brother Kason, who is like the fourth kid in the family. Him and I were talking today about so there's 7 of us, and all 6 boys play football, and like what if our what if our brothers are, I have two brothers, we have two brothers that are juniors, and like, what if they don't have a senior football season? It's a possibility. So, is actually, what was the question again?
The most surprising or
Oh,
unexpected
our
thing.
kid, like I knew our kids, they love each other. Like our kids love being around each other, and you hear a lot of things and see things. Like kids are driving each other crazy. Like our kids are a hot mess, and our kids like love each other and they include each other and they have so much fun. They know that like the oldest Breslin likes to be alone, so they'll include him if he wants to be, and he'll try some things. But our kids like really love each other and love being with each other. And I don't know. I have been really surprised just how I thought they would get sick of each other, but they just love being together. But
So
they
far,
have their
knock on
moments.
wood.
They have their moments, but overall,
Yeah, not that they aren't hot messes sometimes,
Yeah.
because they are. Like what you didn't see in the picture of Ruth Spiro's book was Harvey knocking over Hobbs's rocket ship and having to go to timeout and screaming his head off. So we don't take pictures of that stuff.
the most
Anyways.
surprising
Yeah, for
thing
me.
for you has been just how much you've loved spending time with me. I guess that shouldn't be surprising. I'm just kidding.
Not even close.
Because you just knew that already.
I'll tell you what, people. I think my dating advice to my high schoolers from now on will be like, who can you quarantine with? Like, because it has to be a pretty special person or group of people for you to be stuck inside with. Just like a college roommate. I have always said this, Jessica Roberts, if you're out there listening, like there's only so many people that you can be a roommate with and still be really good friends with and have a relationship. It's not for everybody. So who can you quarantine with?
Are you saying you
Because
can or can't quarantine with me?
Oh, for sure. No, I totally can. But like I knew that. I knew we'd be fine. I think this is sort of deep and like philosophical a little bit. But I am surprised and unexpected by like it doesn't matter how much time you have. You're not going to do all the things that you thought you'd be able to do if you had time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think about we've just tried to schedule these days and structure.
So we literally have nothing right now that we have to do.
Yep.
There is nothing we have to do. But then I think about all these things that I want to do, or I picture myself being able, and I think we all do to a certain extent, right? Like over Christmas break, we thought we were going to do this, and we were going to do this, and we were going to do this, and we were going to paint this, and we were going to organize this, and we were going to do this.
Friends. Anne and Jason Smart, they keep sending us pictures of them like painting. It's like they're showing off because they're like accomplishing things.
Okay, but like
they're like doing things. How do you do that?
But we choose what we spend time to do too. Like I chose to go on a really long bike ride today. Like I chose to do that. That's what I wanted to do with my time. But I've also in my head thought about, like this would be a great time. I've always wanted to learn about composting.
Oh yeah, and guitar.
Always wanted to learn how to play the guitar. I have always wanted to, excuse me, like learn about teacher-powered schools and do some research and really dive into that. And like, there's no reason for me not to. There's no obligations I have other than keeping my children alive right now.
Yep.
And I'm still not doing everything. So it's just kind of made me sit back and think like, like maybe we just aren't supposed to, or maybe I need to do a better job of being intentional about like, do you really want to do that? Because maybe you don't, maybe you just think you should, or I don't know. So that's been really surprising to me is just like, I don't know. I haven't felt the need to be productive. And usually I'm the type of person that it's like, I feel like something has to be done with my time or it's a waste. So, no matter what, like no matter how much time you have, time is fleeting and you're never going to get to do it all.
And I think that's
even when you have all the time in the world. So
I think it's okay to give yourself some grace at a time like this. Like we are living in.
I'm enjoying myself immensely. Like it's crazy to me how you always think like, if I had more time, then I would be able to X, Y, Z. And
Yeah.
Just because you have time, I guess, doesn't mean that you're going to. So, yeah.
So
So,
we have to run spring break now.
this is technically spring break.
Yep.
I would be in an alternate universe. I would be driving down alone
Because I was supposed to be in
with
Virginia.
all my
Yeah.
kids in a van to Nashville. And instead, we're here with you. So, I don't know.
And we
I feel
have, when
like-
we come back, we are like expected to be available for work if necessary and needed. It's not supposed to be, this next week is, but the rest is not supposed to be treated as a vacation.
Nope.
So hopefully I know our district is working hard. We get updates from our principals and they're meeting and trying to figure it out and waiting for some direction from the state. So hopefully they'll be able to figure out what's best for our kids in our classrooms, and we look forward to just kind of rolling with it and seeing what we can do to help our kids.
We miss our kids. We miss our kids a lot.
Yeah.
I miss seeing them every day.
It's definitely not a snow day.
No.
Like, those are nice and fun and exciting, and this is scary and sad and worrisome.
I think about them all the time. I also want to just, as a mom, if any moms are out there, I just, if I could pass along anything to that resonates or makes you feel better, or words of wisdom. There's so much right now on social media about things for your kids to do or schedule to have. And I guess just two things. One is it's week 2. I don't think any of us have it figured out right now.
Your kid is going to be fine.
As teachers, we will
kid is
tell
gonna do
you
fine.
that losing out on 10 or 15 days of classroom instruction,
It's not the end of the world.
they will be okay. Even like my heart breaks for the seniors right now. Like if they come back on April 13th, I'll have like 20 days left with them in the classroom, but they will be okay. And you don't need to feel like you have to teach them algebra or do science experiments every day, or do what works for you, whatever that is. Do whatever is best for your kids. Some of you are having to work from home. Some of you are still having to go to work. Like, do not feel guilty. We're all figuring this out. We are all figuring this out, and they will be okay. So please don't feel like you're inferior because you're getting on and you're seeing these cute printables, and like, more power to the women who are creating the and the dudes. Sorry, it just seems to be very mom heavy. I apologize.
Must be the circles you run in.
It's just listen to your kids. I think the best thing that we have done, and it's been just serendipitous more than anything, is that Daria and AJ are the ones who are driving this ship, and we just say yes.
Just say yes.
So
folks.
if that could be my advice, to just be, listen to your kids, let them drive the ship, and say yes. So if they want you to, if they want to build a boat, or they want to go outside and do a scavenger hunt, or if they want, you can give them some ideas, but they're going to be okay. And don't put that pressure and guilt on yourself that you're not doing enough or you're doing too much or whatever. Just
hang in there.
We're all flying blind here. So exactly. And we just saw a comment like kids need downtime and place. I think my kids have learned so much. My kids have wonderful teachers, but they have also learned so much this week. They've done it on their own. It's been stuff that they've been interested in doing. They've created things. They've had to problem solve. And a lot of it has been, with me, making something in the kitchen, or, on my bike in the basement. Like,
yeah.
Anyways, so there's that. And so, yeah, let your kids lead. And
it's kind of like, I think we can apply this to our classrooms when we do get back.
Yeah.
Let their passions drive things. Try to be driven by what they want to do and what they want to learn. You're going to get so much more out of them. So,
and my second thing, mamas out there, is to make sure that you take care of yourself. We get so wrapped up in, are my kids going to be okay? Are they learning enough? Are they bathed? Do they put on new clothes? Do they have a schedule? It's really important. Like, I I don't even know why. Like, I have no reason to be stressed out right now. I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to be. But there's a
It's
lot of
against the law for you to go somewhere.
there's a
It's
lot
against
of
the law.
there's a lot of feelings and stress and uncertainty, and it's important for us as caregivers to make sure that we have time to process that in whatever way and take care of ourselves in whatever way that means. Like, for me, it's going for a run and or biking, and I don't know why I don't go and think about things. I don't work on things in my head when I run. I just run. But for some reason, when I come back, it's like whatever knot was there has loosened. And I'm just in a better place to process those. Oh, bye, Instagram.
It's dead. Playing his Instagram as dad. I think that's a great way
So,
to kind
sorry,
of
I monopolized the end of that, but I just think it's
No.
really important, especially for the women out there. Like, you need to make sure that you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And guys too. I mean, of course, guys
No,
too.
I understand.
But
Thank you all for all that you're doing for yourself and for your families. Stay safe out there. It's a scary time. Thank you to all of the essential workers all over the country, stocking
we are
shelves,
so thankful for you.
police officers
And
making
for everybody who's
runs,
not,
nurses and doctors.
make their job easier.
Yeah, stay the heck home, people.
Read a good book.
Stay home. You got nowhere to be. Thank you so much for tuning in.
You can just watch this over and over and over again. Just
it'll
put
be
you
on
right to sleep.
our podcast, Partially Proficient, and we'll try to do this again sometime. Thank you so much.